What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Urban Eden vlog. We rocking the Urban Eden drip today, and we are at my high school alumni. I think that's how you say it. This is where I went to high school. Not quite where I went to high school because it's a new school, but Newton High School. My dad is also a teacher here. He's also an assistant basketball coach, and he asked us to come out and speak to. He's actually also head of the Beta Club. He does a lot. He does more than I did in high school, but he's very involved here at Newton, and so we'll be talking to the kids today about Urban Eden and letting them know about our journey. So come on.
Guys, when I tell you, some of the people that's in my class kind of know this a little bit because I've shown some of their YouTube videos and their product. But you're looking at 31-year-old multi-millionaires on the stage. Multi-millionaires. So they're humble, they're down to earth, they are great people, and they are living proof that you can make money, live your passion, and also be a good person. So, without further ado, I am going to turn it over to two of my favorite people in the whole world, my daughter Taryn and her husband Quentin. Give them a round of applause.
All right, good morning, guys. I thought my dad was going to be a minute, so I was like, let me have a seat just in case. But yes, thank you for the introduction, Dad. Again, my name is Terran Lewis, and then this is my husband, Quentin Lewis, right here. I would have loved to use the projector and just show you guys some of our story, but I'll tell you guys about our story while I'm standing up here, and then of course, Quentin is going to help. I didn't know it was going to be this many people here. My dad said it was going to be like several classes. I thought it was just going to be his class, but I see it's several classes, so y'all bear with me. I catch my breath, and it's still a little nerve-wracking speaking in front of people, even when you get older and get out of high school. So yes. So again, my name is Taryn Lewis. I went to this school. My dad was telling my age, but I guess it's not that bad. But I went here in 2009. It was not this school. I went to the old Newton High School. And then I also have a younger brother who's 7 years younger than me. He graduated from this high school. I don't know what year, but he does currently work with our business as well. So when I was in high school, I never thought that I was gonna like own a business. That wasn't like something that was on my mind. When I was in high school, I can't even remember what I wanted to do. I think I might have wanted to be like a journalist or something like that. And so when I went to college, I went to Georgia State University. And then I went to and took some classes for journalism. I was just still thinking that I wanted to be a journalist because I like to talk. And I also took like public speaking classes and all that while I was there. And then I met Quentin, and Quentin had an interest in gardening. And so I found out about an internship at a local farm here in Atlanta, in Southwest Atlanta. Also, we passed out some flyers to you guys that has like a little barcode so you can check it out and check out our story. All of this stuff that I'm saying to you, you'll see in that video as well. But I saw the flyer for an internship, and Quentin was literally the only person who responded to that internship. Nobody else responded to that farm internship. Nobody else wanted to do the hard work that it took to learn how to farm. And I didn't go out there with him at first. At first, I was just like encouraging him to do gardening. And then I remember it was like a point in my life when I was just feeling like stressed. I was feeling stressed out from school, from work, from life, and I was just telling him about that. And he was like, come out to the farm sometimes and just come out here with me and check it out. And I was like, okay, cool, like I'll come out there. Now for me growing up, I had never planted a plant. I made some mud pies back in the days. I never took a piece of food off of a plant. So the whole concept of farming was very different for me. It was very foreign for me. So once I started getting out there and started to learn the skill of farming, I started to realize how valuable it was to actually learn how to grow food from the soil. And then during that time, we also went to a commune. I was on my hippie vibes. I'm still like a bit of a hippie, just not as much so, but I was on my hippie vibes. We went to the commune, and while we were at the commune, I just saw that there was like a lot of businesses there. That was one of the things that made the commune thrive. Everybody realized that once they got there and they wanted to build a community and that they wanted to be part of a community, that they needed to start a business. The particular commune that we went to, they had like a hammock business. They did like tofu products, and then they also had like a midwifery business there too. So it just sparked a lot of interest in me, and I was like, I need to learn another skill other than farming. Farming is a very valuable skill, but I just wanted to learn something else. But I didn't want to just learn like a regular skill. I wanted to learn something that was going to make an impact, something that if I was a part of the community, that I could be just a valuable person, a part of that community. So if you think about like starting a community, you need things like a baker, you need somebody who runs a store, you need farmers, of course. So these are all basic things, and I know nowadays like the world is so like technologically advanced, and we all think about all the things that we want to do as far as like in tech, but then there's also still the earth that we live on. And there's valuable skills and things that you can learn to do that are earthy as well that you can make money doing as well. And so, my bad. I'm gonna calm down and catch my breath. But yeah, so I was like, I want to learn a skill. I also like to read. That was one of the things that I excelled at when I was in high school. All throughout my years was reading and writing. And so I went to Barnes and Noble and got a craft book. It was that simple. I just went to the craft section, got a craft book, and I got this really big craft book that had a bunch of different crafts in it. And so I opened it up and I said, all right, I gotta learn how to do something. And prior to that, I was already like making jewelry. I did like some knitting and crocheting, but I was selling my jewelry pieces, not really doing too much with it, and then just selling them online. And then Quentin had a landscape business, so he was doing that, and landscaping and vegetable gardening. And so in the craft book, I was just flipping through. There was a lot of different things in there, and for some reason I landed on soap making. Right before soap making was candle making, and I thought to do candle making, but for some reason like soap making just stuck out to me. And so they had a recipe in there for how to make the soap, and I went on there and I ordered all the stuff that it took to make the soap, and the first bar of soap that I ever made was like this lavender soap. So we used lavender herbs, and I put lavender essential oils, and once I made it, I did what's this process called melt and pour. And so melt and pour is literally like just melting down a soap base and then adding the ingredients to it. So once I made it, I was just amazed because, you know, growing up, I just always went to the grocery store. I used Dove, I used Caress, Tone, Irish Springs, all of those soaps. And of course, my mom was the one buying my soaps. Even though I was well into college, she was still the person that was buying all my soaps. And so it never dawned on me, for one, that you could make soap. And for two, it dawned on me as well when I made the soap that you could put herbs and essential oils into the soaps. And me and Quentin were already living like this natural, holistic lifestyle because, mind you, I was on my hippie vibes. And so we were eating, you know, we were vegan, we were eating better, we were just more conscious about the food that we were eating, and we were also more conscious about what we were putting on our bodies. So I was already using natural soap, but still just did not connect the dots that you could make soap. So I made that first bar of soap, and the fact that you could put essential oils in it and herbs, it just was like all of this stuff just started clicking in my mind, like, okay, herbs are something that you could take daily to help you. There's, you know, good herbs like lavender, tea tree, chamomile, the list goes on and on. And I was just like, so you can take a shower daily, and you can use herbs and get the benefits of essential oils. And so I was like, wow, I gotta make more of this. It was so interesting to even just make that, to use that bar of soap in the shower that I made. And Quentin, with his business mind, he was just like, well, people are liking this because I posted it on social media. Instagram and Facebook were not what they are. It wasn't what it was back then. everything that you kind of like posted got seen for the most part because it just wasn't as much of a crowded space. And so once I posted it, a lot of family members and friends were like, I want to try some soap. I want to buy some soap from you. I want to get some soap. And I was just like, okay, like, all right. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I was really just posting and just showing people what I did. And I think Quentin saw the response pretty much for the most part. He was like, you need to start a business. And I was like, huh? Like, I know I had already like been selling the jewelry and stuff, but I didn't think to like start a soap business. It was literally just like a skill that I wanted to learn something and do. And so I asked him, I said, well, if I start a business, what does that look like then? And he was like, I mean, you just need to learn how to make the soap from scratch. And he already was doing some internet marketing during that time, so he just knew a little bit about internet marketing. And from there, I had to learn about making soap. And I did realize that if I did want to make soap, that I wanted to make something from scratch and that I wanted to control all of the ingredients that went into the soap. And so from there, the first batch of soap that I made was melt and pour. From the second one, I had to actually learn about the different butters and oils, essential oils, different herbs, and learn how to make soap from scratch. So that was quite interesting. And then once I learned how to make soap from scratch, I just researched ingredients that were really popular for skincare, and then just the ball just started rolling from there. And then my popular ingredients that I was looking up at the time, I did a lot of research as far as like what soaps are popular, what ingredients were popular. Turmeric was a really popular ingredient, still a popular ingredient today. And then activated charcoal was a really popular ingredient, still popular today. We've been in business for about 7 years. I started making soap back in 2014 using those ingredients, and those are two of our top selling soaps still to this day. So it's like just to show that those ingredients were just some really star ingredients, and I'm pretty sure some of you in here have probably used like activated charcoal toothpaste or a shampoo or a soap as well, if you know anything about it. I think that's all right. So yes, Quentin.
Okay. How you guys doing today? All right, cool. Who all has heard of urban eating or uses urban eating?
Miss Anna, Jeremiah. So none of you guys, do you guys use natural soap? No? Does anybody use natural soap? Raise your hand if you currently use natural soap. So pay attention to this though, y'all. Look at how many people are using natural soap. It's literally a small amount of people.
What soap do y'all use? Just name some soaps.
Guys. Yes. Okay, so do you guys know that your skin is your largest organ? You guys are aware of that, right? Okay, so whatever you put into your skin absorbs that and it goes into your body. Do you know the layer, one of the layers that is right up underneath your skin? What is underneath your skin? Your bloodstream. So whatever you're putting into your skin is going into your bloodstream and traveling throughout your body. So it's really important that, and like I said, when I was in high school, I didn't think about any of these things. I just got whatever my parents got for me. But when I got to college, like college is one of those places that it kind of expands your mind because, like I said, I went to high school here. So I went to high school in Covington all 4 years. I did have a car and I would drive out to Atlanta, but I didn't really like understand diversity. Going to Georgia State was like a very diverse school. We learned about a lot more things, and my world was just expanded. A lot of my thought processes started to change once I went to college. And so I just looked more into like products that are gonna help for your skin. So, I mean, plants are just like a powerful thing. So literally all of our products that we make are plant-based. Everything does include, we don't use any like toxic chemicals. So I know that you guys know like breast cancer has been on the rise. A lot of different cancers have been on the rise, and come to find out, a lot of it has to do with the foods that we're eating, with the things that we're putting on our skin, our environmental factors. So the world is a vast and scary place, but it's also a place with a lot of knowledge. And one of my favorite sayings kind of is like, once you know better, you do better. And so like I've never literally like, since I've been making the soap and prior to, I just never went back to using Dove. I grew up on Dove. But I started to realize that a lot of these bigger brands, and y'all are gonna hear this verbatim for the most part if you check out that video, but I did realize that a lot of these bigger brands were using synthetic chemicals and using synthetic fillers that were actually like toxic to our skin. They were actually like toxic to our internal workings. And so just kind of waking up to that and realizing that there's a different option. So my whole being for like starting Urban Eden came from just me wanting to do a skill, but then the problem, I started to realize that the problem was much bigger than me just wanting to have a skill. The problem was people dealing with skincare issues. Eczema is highly on the rise. Acne is highly on the rise. Hyperpigmentation is highly on the rise. And I know that you guys are like teenagers, so you guys experience all of this stuff. You experience hyperpigmentation, acne, eczema daily. And a lot of that can be caused by the products that you're using as well. So it's just a matter of just being like more circumspect about the things that you're using and trying to see if it really, really works for you. And I know that like as young women, a lot of us we care about our skin much more, but guys, y'all need skincare too. Y'all gotta take care of y'all skin. Y'all gotta take care of the odors, all of the good things. You gotta be smelling good, all the different things like that. Just especially if you wanna get a girl at some point or what have you. So we just realized that you can make soap for everybody. But yeah, so some of the people that did use our soap was only Miss Ammon, who was in the back. Miss Ammon was actually my Spanish teacher when I was here. She was like one of the only teachers that I noticed. Okay. Miss Ammon, if you do want to come on down, though, we have a box here of some giveaways that we're giving. And also Jeremiah, if you say you use our soaps already. Jeremiah is, I'm sorry if I call him Jeremiah, one of my brother's friend. He went to school with my brother.
He was also my student.
He was also your student. So yes, and that's the one thing I love about community too, a small community. You just pretty much know everything and know a lot of people. So, okay, so none of you guys have used natural soap. To the people that use natural soap, you guys can come down as well and get a soap as well. I don't know if anybody in the back corner. Does anybody in here currently have a business? Does anybody have a business? Y'all nervous?
If you have your own business, I know.
If you have your own business, y'all scared to talk about y'all business?
It's cool as entrepreneurship.
Y'all scared to talk about y'all business?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand if you have a business. Okay. If you raise your hand, can you please stand up and let us know what your business is?
Stand up.
Y'all cannot be afraid to talk about your business because I'm telling you, once you get out into noise. I'm gonna ask y'all one more time, please be respectful of your noise level.
All right, if you own a business, stand up and just say what your business is, what you do. Go ahead, laugh at first. Stand up.
Hey y'all, I do hair.
Listen.
My name is Lita, and I do this.
My name is Miss Lee. I'm the theater teacher and I make candles.
I am Miss Walker, the African teacher, and I have a custom t-shirt and gifts.
Sure do.
I'm Jeremiah Budgets. I got a lawn care business. Lawn care business.
So yes, big ups to all of those people who stood up and had the courage to tell us about their business. Thank you. Guys, once you get out into the real world, I'm telling you, you in high school now, this is not the real world. The real world is having to pay bills, being an adult, figuring out what you're going to do with your life. So, business is not for everybody. I do want to say that. I know that entrepreneurship is like super cool right now, but business isn't always for everybody. It's really hard because you don't have a boss to clock into. You don't have a schedule to clock into. Everything relies on you. I'll tell you guys a little bit about our journey so far, but we've had some crazy times. We've had times where we could barely pay our rent. We've had times where our car got repossessed. We've had times where we could barely pay our bills, but you know what was thriving? What we were able to take care of was our business. Like we had times where we had to choose between, are we gonna pay for our Shopify store right now, or are we gonna pay our rent right now? And of course you do always wanna keep that building over your head, but we've taken some cold showers as well, because some bills have suffered. So just understand that y'all are really, there are seniors in here, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me keep it real with y'all. Y'all about to go into real life. So enjoy the high school life for right now. Y'all enjoy y'all teachers being here. Enjoy y'all parents doing for you right now. They're doing for you. Because, you know, my dad is that type. When you turn 18, you got to do what you got to do. You got to get out the house and go and be on your own. So if anybody has parents like that, and then I know that there are also still some seniors now who have to currently do what they have to do to take care of themselves. But once you get out of high school, the real world comes in. If you do decide to go the business route, just know that it's not easy. Like I said, you don't have a place to clock into. Everything relies on you, your business, and of course, if you choose to start a family during that time, then you'll have to deal with like family and business as well at the same time. We got our YouTube video. But back to our journey. I started making soap in an apartment. And then we moved a couple of times, so I just always carved out a space to be able to make soap. And then in 2019, we moved back in with my in-laws at that time, and we were making soap out of their garage. They let us use one half of their garage, thankful for that. And we hired our first employee in 2019. So in 2019, we realized this is becoming a lot. We were fulfilling orders. Actually, let me actually just run it back just real quick. In 2016 was when the business originally started. 2016, I officially left my job. That was the last time I worked at a job. But in order for me to leave that job, I had to make sure that I was at least somewhat good with the business. It technically probably wasn't the best time to leave my job, but I just was feeling all gung-ho and ready to go. And so I got into the farmer's market world, which is something that I wanted to do. And then I really learned about commerce a little bit more. And then the farmer's market was a little bit slow. And so we started selling online. And once we started selling online, it just kind of helped to even out with us selling in person and even to make more money. And then also with us selling online as well. So yes, back forward to 2019, we got our first employee. And then we were outgrowing the garage space. And we were like, man, we need a bigger space than this. So we ended up getting our first brick and mortar store in 2019. Was it 2019? Yeah. Yes, we got our first brick and mortar store in 2019, and then
What does brick and mortar store mean?
Brick and mortar store means we got our first physical location. So in Douglas, and even though I went to school out here, Quentin went to school in Douglas County, which is an hour away on the west side, pretty much. And since we were living out there with his parents, we just ended up getting a space out there. So our store is out there, and we still have the store to this day. And so yes, that's where we actually started producing the soaps, and then also started selling out in the front. Then 2020 hit, and I don't know if you guys remember, but COVID was a big thing, of course. George Floyd uprising. A lot of people were rushing to support Black-owned businesses. So we saw this increase, like this crazy increase. Quentin knows the numbers. We went from making, in 2019, how much were we making? What was our revenue in 2019?
We did like 263,000 in 2019.
Okay, and then how did we close out 2020?
2.6 million.
Okay. So yes, so we went from making $263,000 the first year, making like, I don't even know how we were surviving pretty much, and to making 2.3 million the next year. 2.6 million, sorry, the next year. So we just saw this increase within our brick and mortar store. We honestly couldn't even keep up. We were getting so many orders, and it was becoming really hard to just deal with this flow. Like at first it was like I was putting all my orders out on the table, making it look like I was doing something, to the point where I was overflowed with orders. Like it took a lot on our mental, it took a lot on just us as people, just having to reach the demand. It was like the business had always been fun, but then this like demand came in and it made it kind of like, all right, now we gotta like step up to the plate and find something new. It just became this very challenging ordeal.